Hey, what's up, guys? Trader Nate here. I wanted to cover a topic that leaves a lot of people confused and frustrated today, the pattern day trading rule. So I wanted to explain it a little bit and then show you some ways around it. So the pattern day trading rule is that if you make 4 or more day trades in a 5-day rolling period, you get labeled as a pattern day trader. So you will not be able to day trade unless you have over $25,000 in your trading account. Okay? So I haven't really struggled too much with pattern day trader rule since I took it full time because it doesn't have to be cash. It has to be an account value. So I have a long-term hold position that I had over $25,000 in. So I was able to trade freely up until probably about a month ago. My long-term investment hasn't been doing that well recently. PCTL, if you remember from some of my other videos, has kind of put me in a tough spot and put me under pattern day trader rule. I just refunded my account with some additional money, so I'm not suffering from PDT anymore. But anyways, so you can only trade 3 day trades in a 5-day period under the pattern day trading rule if you don't have a $25,000 account value. But this is per brokerage. So if you open multiple accounts, like say you have a TD Ameritrade account and then you open a Fidelity account, you can actually have 3 in each one without getting labeled as a pattern day trader. So that would put you, at 6 trades in a 5-day period and double your ability to take trades. Another way around it would be to open a cash account. Now, a cash account actually has its negatives as well, as it can take up to 3 days for the money from a trade to settle back to your account. So if you went in pretty deep in one trade one day, then you can't trade because you don't have the funds in your account until they're settled. So a margin account is definitely the way to go on a brokerage, but you'll only want to use what you have in your account. You can trade on margin, but that's scary because you could wind up losing more than you actually have in your account. So don't do that. Use a margin account, but only use the funds that you have available for trading. Another way around the pattern day trader rule, and I don't recommend this one either, I've never really looked into it, but is to use a foreign brokerage, as they don't fall under the pattern day trader rule. But foreign brokerages come with their own set of cautions and are really a little sketchy in my opinion. You have to wire transfer your funds in, and there's a lot of deception and fraud in terms of that. So if you do use a foreign brokerage, make sure that you use a trusted one. Verify that it's an actual brokerage and it's a decent brokerage and not some scam artist trying to get your hard-earned money. The other way around it, of course, is to swing trade. Now, one of the patterns that I like to follow is a first green day on OTCs. So you can hold these overnight, and typically there's a gap up because OTCs do not trade post-market, and they trade very thin pre-market. And there's a market inefficiency where the news takes a little while to get out, so a stock runs up pretty good the first day, and then everybody overnight reads about the news, and then they want to hop in first thing in the morning, and it usually causes a little bit of a gap up. So this is a good pattern, if you're under the pattern day trader rule, is to buy OTCs on their first green day, either midday or closer to the close if they're closing strong. That's safer because midday they could go the other way and then you have to sell and then it's a day trade. So if they're closing strong on their first green day, closing near highs, then you hop in, you hold it overnight, and you sell it first thing in the morning. Voila, you didn't take a day trade. Now, I caution you that I struggle taking things overnight. I take profits too soon a lot of times because a lot of stuff can happen overnight. They can do an offering, bad news could come out, things of that nature. So I will only take stocks that have a strong history of gapping up. Let's see if I can remember which one I took last week. It wasn't WSRC because WSRC, even though it had a strong first green day and closed right near its highs, does not have that history of gapping up at all. So this is the 1 year, 1 day chart up here, and you can see even after a strong first green day, it did not gap up anywhere in its history, other than maybe right there, and that's not that strong of a first green day. I'm trying to remember which one it was. So AABB I might have been that one, had a strong history of gap ups after the first green day. So you can see there's a gap up there, there's a huge gap there, a gap up there. That one didn't really gap up. That one gapped up pretty big. Then obviously it gapped up here, gap up there, gap up there. So those are the types of repeatable patterns that I'd be looking for the first green day and expecting a gap up. And so that's one way around the pattern day trader rule as well, is that you don't take day trades. Also, the pattern day trader rule is there to protect your assets, especially when you first get into trading. I still suffer from over trading, and that's part of the reason I started making YouTube videos, is if I spend my time making YouTube videos, then I'm not over trading. Too many trades, you start to try to force things and see things that aren't there. So don't look at pattern day trader rule as a restriction, really. Look at it as a guide. It's a guide to help you understand, okay, I need to wait for the best setups, because if I use a day trade on this, then I'm out day trades and I can't trade. So looking for the best setup, staying around, waiting. Cash is a position also. So wait for the best setups and take them overnight if you have to. That's a good way to do it, and just be patient. The plays will come. Make sure you like and subscribe for the rest of my Trading 101 series. It's everything that I've learned so far as a day trader, trying to break it down right from the basics and continue building on that base. So thank you guys very much. Happy green days.